Hi Aries, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina and today we are doing your love predictions for this Venus and Taurus transit. This may apply to Aries Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, so it might not apply to you, and that is completely okay. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest that doesn't. Also, keep in mind that these readings are not strictly romantic. It can pertain or relate to other interpersonal relationships in your life. So also just, keep that in mind. And yeah, if you like the message, if you like this reading, if it resonates with you, give the video a thumbs up, comment down below your feedback, share it with your friends, with your family, subscribe, hit the bell notification to know when I upload my videos. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. If you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get started for you, Aries. So let's see what's going on. What's going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in love? What's going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in love? Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in love. All right, we have the Seven of Cups that fell out. Seven of Cups, which is like Scorpio, Pisces energy to me. It can signify idealization or having a lot of options. It could also signify a sense of confusion. All right, so we have the Seven of Cups. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Five of Pentacles reversed. We have the Two of Swords reversed. The King of Pentacles reversed. And we have the Four of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups reversed. So having the Knight of Cups reversed at the bottom of the deck, signifying the overall energy of this month for you, of this time period for you. The Knight of Cups reversed talks about someone who either fears rejection, and because of that, they don't shoot their shot, or this is someone who is really emotionally manipulative, emotionally immature, very poor emotional regulation. They don't know how to handle themselves emotionally. They don't know how to express themselves, that sort of thing. That's the kind of vibe here. So that's interesting. We'll see how that goes for you. Maybe this is another person in your life, or maybe it's you. Let's see what's going on. So we have the Seven of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, which really jumps out to me. It seems as though you feel as though you have a lot of options, right? Maybe in your interpersonal relationships, you feel as though you have a bunch of options. You feel that you have outlets to a bunch of different people in your life. You feel like maybe for some of you, you feel that you have access to different social groups, to different cliques or whatever that is, just having a lot of choices, having an abundance of choices, right? And with the Knight of Pentacles, it could be that you have been working your way towards these cliques, towards these social groups to integrate yourself with them. If this isn't the case for some of you, it could also be with this Seven of Cups that you might be feeling confused about what to choose, feeling confused as to how to move forward, or feeling confused as to what is the right choice for you. Maybe there's kind of this fear of making the wrong choice in terms of committing yourself to a specific person or to a specific social group. There could also be a sense of idealization about something or fantasizing about something. And with this sort of idealization, maybe you have an idea of what you want or what you desire within an interpersonal relationship, whatever relationship it might be. Maybe you have an idea, you have that image in your mind. And so the Knight of Pentacles could be your energy of your willingness to work for it, of your willingness to manifest this into your life. And with the Knight of Pentacles, it shows how you're willing to be patient and to be diligent and to be consistent in your efforts and in making whatever wish or dreams you have to come true, if that kind of makes sense. And it seems as though you've kind of pulled yourself out of a rut with this Five of Pentacles reversed. Having the Five of Pentacles upright basically signifies someone who's focusing so much on their problems, focusing so much on focusing so much on all of the things that are going wrong, but not focusing on how to find solutions or how to get out of the situation. So having this card reversed talks about the desire to do so, the desire to find a solution, the desire to get yourself out of this rut, the desire to ask for assistance, for advice, for consultation, for consults, anything like that. You're just asking for help, reaching out, opening yourself up, and being receptive to the positive side of things, I guess you could say, in order to get yourself out of whatever situation you might be in, out of whatever thing might be confusing for you in your interpersonal relationships. And if, for example, some of you are dealing with an interpersonal relationship where there may have been conflict, or you were left feeling kind of confused and not really knowing how to approach things for whatever reason, this Knight of Pentacles shows that you are willing. This Knight of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles reversed, it shows me that you are very willing and you have a desire to fix whatever is going on, or to deal with things properly, or to just find a solution to things. The issue that kind of comes up in this spread, though, is that we have the Two of Swords reversed, which talks about, which talks about someone feeling as though they are stuck between a rock and a hard place. This Two of Swords reverse can also signify being in denial about something. It can also signify a lack of accountability. So I don't know if this is you or another person, but with the Seven of Cups here, this kind of reads as, yes, there might be confusion, but it could, for some reason, I keep on getting the message of only wanting to focus on the good, only wanting to focus on the positive. So it's almost like, yes, you might be wanting to focus on the positive and find solutions, but at what cost? You know, are you focusing on the solutions as a way to ignore all of the bad stuff? Or are you focusing on a certain thing or fixating on a certain thing in hopes to avoid accountability, or in hopes to kind of continue wearing rose-tinted glasses in some way? Does that kind of make sense to you? That's kind of what this brings, like, that's kind of the question that comes to mind when I see these two cards is, what are you trying to like hide or something? Or are you not wanting to, are you or someone else not willing to take accountability for something? There's someone trying to see things through rose-tinted glasses in whatever interpersonal relationship you might be in. Like I said, there is that desire to work things out, but at the same time, with this Two of Swords reversed, it's almost like I want to work things out to an extent. I'll admit things to an extent. I'll do things to an extent, is kind of what it feels like, is kind of what it seems here. And with this King of Pentacles reversed, this to me reads as worrying too much about one's appearance, about how one comes off, worrying about one's status, about public perception, about mass perception, which is really interesting. I don't know if this is you or another person. The King of Pentacles reverse can also signify someone who's not being generous, someone who's being very stingy, someone who's very hard-headed and not taking into consideration the feelings of other people. And with this Two of Swords reversed, for some of you Aries, it could be that you don't want to take accountability for the possibility of you taking on the role of this King of Pentacles person, whether it's being stingy, whether it is not taking into account other people's feelings, trying to push things under the rug, whatever it is. For some of you, it could be that maybe you have idealized someone in your life who is this King of Pentacles reversed, right? Potentially this could be an earth sign for some of you, but with this King of Pentacles reversed, maybe this is a partner of yours or a friend of yours who potentially is like very stingy. They're just like not generous people. They keep everything to themselves. They don't want to share. They're not a very good provider. Or maybe they have sold themselves to be, or maybe like they have sold the image of being the perfect provider in some sort of way. Someone who will take care of you, someone who will like provide for all of your needs and your wants and your desires and what have you. But it seems as though that mask is kind of coming off. And perhaps you don't want to admit that this person is not who they said that they were. Maybe you don't want to admit that this is not what you signed up for. Maybe you're kind of in that sort of sense of denial of like accepting this sort of truth, I guess you could say. And for some of you, Aries, it could be that this person may have promised you some sort of like financial assistance or something with the King of Pentacles reversed and the Five of Pentacles reversed. Maybe this person just offered you some sort of financial assistance, or promised you that they would help you in some way, or promised like maybe like they offered their home to you in some way and like kind of like gave you a place to sleep in while you're trying to figure things out and trying to stabilize your life in some way. But it's almost as though they were giving you empty promises, or they just weren't meeting their end of the bargain. They weren't following through with their end of the bargain, with their end of the deal. And so it seems also like there's just like a little bit of an issue here. Yeah. See, so the Knight of Cups reversed is like either feeling rejection or someone fearing rejection. It can also just be overall emotional immaturity, not wanting to see the reality of a situation. We have the Six of Pentacles reversed, which is a lack of reciprocity. It's an imbalance between give and take. So it's either this person is expecting too much from you or taking a lot from you and they're not giving back, or it's vice versa, where you are taking too much from them and you're not giving much in return. Whatever it is, it feels as though like it's an imbalanced deal. It's not like whatever you may have signed up for, it doesn't seem as though it doesn't seem as though it's really helping. It doesn't seem productive. It doesn't seem what's the word, like it's not what you were promised is what it seems here. It's not what you were promised. And right under, like if this Six of Pentacles falls right under this King of Pentacles reversed. So someone is either hoarding, they're not being generous in some way. There's something going on here. There's something going on with that. And maybe this is something that has been going on for a while with this Knight of Pentacles upright here, because that talks about like a long-term thing. Maybe this was like a long-term contract, or maybe this is something that's been going on for a long time, or whatever this is. What is this? I'm gonna clarify. So first, and we have this Four of Swords, which talks about like disengaging. It talks about rest, and I don't know why, but with the Four of Swords, for some reason, this kind of gives me the feeling of like staying asleep, or it feels like avoidance for some reason. It feels like avoidance. Like maybe this person has kind of said, oh, like I'll talk to you after I like get off of vacation. Or maybe this person has been avoiding you by going on all of these holidays, or traveling, or like going on vacation all of the time, and like reducing contact for some reason. Does that make sense? I don't know. For some of you, it could also be, oh my God, yeah, duh. With the Five of Pentacles reversed in terms of like assistance, and with the Four of Swords, that makes sense. Maybe this person literally like offered you a place to stay, offered you a place to sleep, a place to rest, a place to rejuvenate. And maybe they just didn't follow through, or they haven't been following through the way that they promised that they would be, right? Maybe this could be a friend of yours, or like an actual partner where they like, said that, okay, let's move in together. And maybe now they're just like not paying rent or something, or they're not providing you with the amenities that they promised, or whatever it is. Like they promised you something and they're not following through. Or maybe you promised someone something and you're not following through. Whatever the case is, reverse the roles however way you need to. So, okay. So first, let's clarify the Seven of Cups. I want to get more insight into the Seven of Cups. So why is the Seven of Cups here? What is this supposed to mean for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? So we have the World reverse, which is a lack of closure. It's a lack of closure, and it's a cycle repeating itself. So maybe this is a situation that you might have fallen into before, or maybe this is a situation that you've been dealing with the same person, but there was never a sense of closure. Everything kind of maybe feels convoluted. And with the Queen of Swords reversed, this is like a lack of logic. Of course, there is a lack of logic with the Seven of Cups, there's a lot of confusion. Everything is up in the air. We don't know what to expect. We don't know what to, like, what's going on here. The World reversed. Lack of closure. History repeating itself. What the fuck? A lack of closure. Like, there's just overall confusion. There's no closure with this, with whatever situation. Everything just feels up in the air. Okay, well, if that's the case, then why do we have the Knight of Pentacles here? What is this Knight of Pentacles? Why do we have this energy for Aries? Why do we have the Knight of Pentacles here for Aries then, if there's a lack of closure? Maybe it feels as though you have been trying slowly but surely to get away from the situation or to move forward because you still have certain goals that you want to focus on. Maybe you're trying to move away from that confusion, but it has been very slow progress in terms of finding clarity. I think that's what that is. And again, we have this king here. We have the king and we have the knight. And they both have like these two pentacles, or they have like that one pentacle here, right? So having this card reversed, it's like the king offered him this knight, this pentacle. And so this knight was like going after it, and it might have been like very slow, or the king may have been just like dangling it over their head, maybe like having you like jump through hoops and doing all of these things in order to like reach this pentacle, this form of security, this form of stability. But it's almost as though like you're never really able to reach it. All right, so why do we have this Two of Swords reversed? Oh my God. Two of Swords reversed. Why do we have this Two of Swords reversed? Okay, before I get into that. So we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed that fell out for you, Aries. But before I get into that, with this Two of Swords reversed, earlier I mentioned it could be how you might be feeling that you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So maybe for some of you, you felt as though you had no other option but to receive the assistance from this King of Pentacles person, because whatever they were putting down seemed feasible enough, or it seemed good enough in your mind. And then as things moved along, you realize like, oh shit, like this isn't really what I wanted here. And with the Two of Swords reversed, maybe you ignored the red flags of what this person was offering you, or ignored certain red flags because you felt as though this was your only option. Maybe with this Five of Pentacles reversed, you may have felt that this offer, whatever this was, may have been your only option. So you kind of took it kind of like out of a moment of desperation, which is honestly understandable. So with the Two of Swords reversed and being clarified by the Nine of Pentacles reversed, this basically talks about history repeating itself again. There's this theme of history repeating itself again and taking 2 steps forward and 10 steps back. Like, it's a lot less progress than you would hope for, but maybe some of you don't want to admit that, or with whatever decision that you have ended up making for some reason, like it's just not, it just has been leading to a lot less progress, to a lot less growth. And we have the Fool, which immediately reads as being very naive, very naive to trust certain people, or being very naive to kind of quote unquote, to put your life in the hands of this other person, because either you didn't know them very well, or you didn't ask enough questions, or like it was too good to be true. It seemed too good to be true, but it's almost as though you wanted to ignore the red flags because you just wanted to get out of whatever situation that you were in. And it's, again, it kind of boils down to this idealization and trying to like kind of seeing things through a rose tinted lens is what it seems here for you. That's like what it seems here. So what advice can we give Aries in terms of this situation? What advice can we give Aries? Oh shit. Okay, we have 2 cards that fell out. No, 3 cards actually. Okay. So bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands or Ace of Swords reverse, which immediately talks about self-sabotage. It seems as though this may have been a form of self-sabotage in some way. I also think that Spirit is just cautioning you from continuing to self-sabotage within the situation, however that might apply to you, okay? Be careful of basically shooting yourself in the foot by accepting this deal or whatever the case is. The Ace of Swords reverse just also talks about clouded judgment, which seems to be a big theme here. So there's that. So we have the Four of Wands reversed, the Hanged Man reversed, and we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. This immediately gives me the feeling of feeling helpless, feeling powerless, and feeling a little bit even codependent. This person, this King of Pentacles reverse, may have made you feel that you have to rely on them, that they are your only option, that they are your saving grace, that they're the only ones who can save you, and that is just not the case, okay? This Hanged Man reverse tells me that you need to find a different approach. You need to think outside of the box. You need to, if you have signed a contract, you need to reread contracts to find some sort of loophole to get yourself out of the situation. No, that's just it. That's kind of what it seems. There has to be a sense of innovation, because with this Hanged Man reverse, it seems as though you have it's almost as though you have accepted the cards that have been played out for you, no pun intended. And there's just more to fight against. There's just more to do. It's not fair to you. It's a disservice to you to just be passive throughout this entire situation, to kind of view yourself as the victim, to view yourself as very helpless and that you don't have any sort of power, because you do have power. You do have a choice. You can get yourself out of this situation, but it's going to require innovation. It is going to require some imagination and doing things differently, taking on a different approach, shifting your perspective, shifting your attitude towards everything. And with this Queen of Pentacles reverse, this is saying how you need to snap out of the mindset that you are not competent. You need to snap out of the mindset that you can't do this, or that you can't get out of this on your own, that you require the help of other people, that you require this other person. It's just not the case. Okay, you are independent, you are worthy, you are of value. Okay, you are a smart person. You can get yourself out of this situation. The Four of Wands reversed, to me, talks about how there needs to be changes in your approach. There has to be changes in terms of your environment. I feel that this is saying that whatever situation you might be in, whatever this person is offering you, if you haven't already taken the offer, Spirit is kind of saying that it might be best for you not to take on this offer because it doesn't look stable. Also, with the Four of Wands reversed, it could also be that certain things, like foundational things, kind of need to break down so that you can build something stronger, so that you can start rebuilding, if that kind of makes sense. I would also say with the Four of Wands reversed to check for inconsistencies. Check for inconsistencies with this person. Really pay attention to words and use your discernment at this time, because humans are always telling the truth. Even though they're lying, they're always telling you the truth. Humans slip up in everything that they do. They will reveal the truth to you in some way or another, whether it's not verbally, if it's not verbally, then they'll reveal it through their body language, through Freudian slips, for example, or whatever. The truth will be revealed over time. You just have to check for inconsistencies in some way. So yeah. I hope that was helpful. I hope that it resonates for you in some way. I know that it's these readings are not lovey-dovey sort of things. But I hope it helped for your interpersonal relationships, whether it's romantic or not. So there we go, Aries. I hope that resonated for you. I hope it was helpful for you in some way. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. And with that being said, I will talk to you later. Bye.